I don't know good art from bad art. I do, but it's so subjective, and I don't trust myself on this scale to be the sole arbiter of that. And the city's like, that's cool, we don't trust you either. It's hard for me to look at new projects and not wonder about deep, aggressive, whimsical paint jobs.
Kevin presented his idea to the design commission. He already had an idea for how to treat the surface of the building. And because it was art and the design commission doesn't approve art, it had to be punted to our public art advisory committee at RAC to review it.
So we'll let you do something crazy, but it has to be original art.
The problem became that he took some trademark wrapping paper and he wanted to put it on the building, and the city wouldn't allow a trademark design.
It was explained to me that I would have to pitch to the council and to the architect, and there would be maybe 3 or 4 other people I would have to compete against. We were all given a model of the building to work from, which was a lot of fun. So it was like a small laser cut scale model. I made a little booklet to kind of explain all my ideas and to show them how the building could exist in the environment. So I had a friend of mine do 3D mock-ups of the building. So basically I was trying to put together the most amazing pitch I could in the time I had. It was probably the most detail-oriented and involved project I'd worked on.
I'm like, all right, cool, now let's paint the building. Who does that? And RAC, Peggy Kendall on RAC's like, well, there's 5 or 6 people in the world who could paint this at this scale. One of them happens to be a Portlander. His name's Dan Cohen. Let's bring him in and ask him to help consult. He came in and he's like, hell yeah, game on, let's do it.
He wanted to do a mural on all 8 sides and the roofs of these 2 buildings that they're building at the bridgehead, and was curious if I was A, interested, and B, if I even thought it was possible. And my response was, sure, no problem.
I'm not used to having to explain my work. Usually the visuals kind of do the work themselves. So a lot of the motifs from the mural are inspired from thunder eggs and agates, and that's where these striations of color come from. And then the intertwining organic elements like the flowers and stuff, that's from how green the city is and how conscious the city is of nature, and to create something that was new and exciting was definitely took a lot of balancing.
While all of the artists I feel who presented something had strong designs, my personal favorite were certainly James's. Really amazing talent and just sensitivity to line and color and shape and subject matter, really outstanding.
Today's a perfect day for painting. It's cool, cloudy. The sun isn't cutting into us. When the sun comes out, it gets rough out there. I mean, it's tough on everybody, and we've only got so much chi to go around, and eventually we start to get a little dizzy and start to lose our focus, and that's when it gets dangerous.
Some people may think it's really easy, you're just up there painting. That doesn't take any sort of thought process, but really it's very involved, you know. You have to make sure you're cutting a nice line. You have to make sure you're aware of your surroundings, especially being on the rig. That brings its own set of challenges as far as where your rope is. Make sure you're not kicking over cans.
Being able to work on this project, like this grand of scale, is pretty humbling. Pretty much I'm just tracing out paper, but I'm perforating it at the same time, which allows for the ultimate goal of rolling them out across the wall and dapping charcoal to leave a transfer relief.
You know, we've got such an awesome team. We've got like this, I'm in love with our crew, and we're getting that kind of a psychic uplink connection. We pretty much just like laugh all day.
It's a pretty intense paint job. I mean, the building itself will cost me $11 million to have built. It'll cost me $500,000 to have it painted. So that ratio is stupid. That's not a normal or rational ratio, but holistically, it works. If I wasn't on a site that was open on all four sides, I have no back of the building, I would choose a different design move. But it's such an iconic site that spending such a large large chunk of the budget on that paint job, it makes sense and it works.
He is really interested in doing interesting things, really wanting to keep that Portland's weird spirit alive. And I think he's one of the few developers who are willing to take some chances to, it's not necessarily about the bottom line all the time. It's about place, it's about spirit, and what a great building to literally lie at the heart of Portland, the axis mundi of Portland, and to have such a crazy, wild, weird, enchanting heart that still exists in Portland.
Somebody once described it as, it's the necklace. It's the jewelry on this corner.